Last time I asked one simple question. Who the hell owns America's wildlife? And no, the answer isn't the government. It isn't the guy with the biggest ranch or whoever slapped a Bass Pro Shop sticker on a lifted truck. See, wildlife belongs to all of us. That's the foundation of the Public Trust Doctrine, a legal concept with a name so boring it sounds like a seminar held inside a beige-filled cabinet. But it matters. Because if wildlife belongs to everybody, that raises a pretty uncomfortable question. How the did we almost lose it? And before somebody fires up the keyboard outrage machine, the answer isn't simply people hunted. Humans have hunted for thousands of years. Hunting itself wasn't the problem. The problem was that America had almost no real system for managing wildlife. Basically, we had an all-you-can-eat buffet, no closing time, and nobody watching the damn door. Wildlife wasn't only feeding families anymore. It had become big business. Railroads connected cities across the country, which meant wild game could suddenly be shipped hundreds of miles before it started smelling like Santa's gym bag. Restaurants wanted venison. Markets wanted ducks, fashion wanted feathers, and industry wanted buffalo hides. Everybody wanted something, and wildlife was getting passed around like the last gas station condom at a bachelor party. There was barely any meaningful hunting seasons, almost no bag limits, and very little enforcement. Whenever money showed up, some greedy bastard was already standing there with a wagon, a rifle, and the moral restraint of a drunk raccoon in a liquor store. The damage didn't take long. American bison went from tens of millions to only a few hundred animals. White-tailed deer vanished from huge parts of the country. Wild turkey populations collapsed. Elk survived in scattered pockets across the West. Several species were shoved right to the edge, and one of them went straight over it. The passenger pigeon was once one of the most abundant birds on Earth. Historians estimate there were between 3 and 5 billion of them in North America alone. Not million, billion, with like a B. Billion. People describe flocks so enormous they darken the sky for hours. Imagine enough birds to block out the sun, cover half the horizon, and produce a biblical amount of windshield shit. Then, within just a few decades, they were gone. Forever. The last known passenger pigeon was named Martha. She died at the Cincinnati Zoo in 1914. And yes, naming the final member of an extinct species, Martha, somehow makes the whole thing even sadder. That's not extinction anymore. That's the final scene of a movie designed to kick you directly in the emotional dick. Think about that. One of the most abundant birds on the planet disappeared in a single human lifetime. One lifetime. Well, see, that finally got America's attention. People started asking a question they probably should have asked before turning wildlife into a nationwide clearance sale. What if wildlife isn't unlimited? What if there really is a point where we can take too much? What if nature doesn't magically restock itself overnight like a goddamn supermarket shelf? That question, it changed everything. Hunters noticed, anglers noticed, scientists noticed, landowners noticed, conservationists noticed. People who normally couldn't agree on the color of dirt finally reached the same conclusion. If America didn't change the way it managed wildlife, there wouldn't be much wildlife left to manage. That realization became the turning point. It changed how we viewed conservation, it changed how we viewed hunting, and eventually, changed the law. But recognizing the problem was really only the beginning. Knowing the boat is sinking doesn't fix the giant bastard hole in the bottom. The real challenge was figuring out how to bring wildlife back, and believe it or not, some of the people who led that effort were hunters. Yes, hunters. They helped create the system that restored wildlife across America, and that's where we're headed next.